fire this thing up. Let's see if we about ready. Okay. Mic check, mic check. Hit this light. We good to go. What up, what up, what up, people? Are we good? Can you hear me now? Is my vocals, how I sound? You should hear me now. Should hear me. Okay. So let's go through this little rundown. I'm gonna be on here real quick because I know Son and them got a stream later on. So what I want to do is pop in because I've been extremely busy. Got a new job and it's been taking up a lot of my time. But I appreciate it. I love football. It's a new football job. Kind of getting back to doing what I used to do. But I'm not gonna forget my bird gang out here, my Ravens flock. We're gonna be in full season. After the draft, I'll do a review each night. I won't be live because I'm probably going to see Thanos Thursday night. But I'll come back with something real quick about who we picked up in the first round and if we get any other things. Yeah, coaching, Sonny. I'm back to doing what I love at a new school. But I do high school, so that is what it is. But on this quick stream right here, let me go run down. I got a little checklist I want to go through. First of all, I want to welcome you guys back. It's been a minute for me. Hadn't been live in a while, but I'm here now. So let's get it. The rundown for the night is we're going to talk about the position rankings on our team, the Ravens. Then we're going to come back if you have any draft questions, and I'll answer those to the best of my ability. We can talk about some of the guys that I evaluated in my film. We can talk about some guys that we, moving up the draft board, moving down the draft board, who we should draft, and try to get in and out of here in about 30 minutes. Hopefully that'll work. So this is what we're gonna do. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to this video too. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. As you can see, I'm pretty sure I got at least 11 guys that hit the notification gang, and they got the bell and they're in here waiting on us, ready to get started. So what I want to do first off, before I take any questions out of the chat box, is talk about our position rankings. And so I'm gonna go from worst position on the Ravens team to the best group on the Ravens team. And this is my take, and we can debate this later on, if you need to, if you want to, or whatnot. But the worst position group on the Baltimore Ravens, in my opinion, is the wide receiver group. Simply because we don't have anybody that's what's the word I'm looking for? That's proven other than Willie Snead. We got tight ends, and I didn't even put those in my rankings too. Tight ends would probably okay. I'm gonna add tight ends where I see fit. But the worst position is receiver. We don't have a big time guy. Hopefully we draft at minimum 2 guys. We picked up a new guy from the Ravens, and I think he's a slot guy. So him and Willie Snead, I think they kind of play the same position, but we'll see when it all works out and whatnot. But I think the receiver position is the worst position on the Baltimore Ravens right now. I wish it wasn't, because we need a good receiver. But hey, it is what it is. We got Lashley's not proven. We got Snead that's proven. The guy we picked up from the Raiders, his name slips my mind right now. And who else at receiver? Lashley. Shoot, it's nobody. That's how bad it is for us at receiver. We don't really have anybody that's a proven commodity receiver, and in my opinion. So moving on, next position group rank that's right below wide receivers, I have running back. Yes, we have Gus Edwards, Seth Roberts. Thank you, Abram. Seth Roberts, who I was thinking about. Yes, we have Gus Edwards, and we now have Mark Ingram. But I still don't think we have a guy that can just go and hit us that home run. We got those two guys that pound the rock, and that's gonna help us because of the offense we like to run. But we don't have a guy that we can be on the minus 20, and he make one guy miss, and it's a touchdown. We don't have that guy. Yeah, because I don't think Kenneth Dixon can do that. Maybe DeLance can do it, but I don't think he'll get a chance because I'm sure Edwards and Mark Ingram are going to be the two active guys almost every week. There's going to be a battle to be who that third guy is. And I don't think DeLance is going to get that chance unless Kenneth Dixon gets hurt again. And, if you talk to Ian Raven, he's probably going to tell you Kenneth Dixon will get hurt again. So, but we still need a guy that can go. I don't think we're going to draft a guy. Maybe be an undrafted free agent. Maybe be a gem or something that we pick up in a trade. But we don't have a guy that can go. I don't think we need to draft a running back though. All right, and I think they are overrated too. I do. The two guys we got, I got our position low simply because of we don't have a speed guy. But for what we like to do, we like to pound the rock. I think we're gonna be good. But I'm gonna go through the rest of this and you'll kind of see why I got the running backs up there. All right, above the running backs, offensive line. Offensive line for me, we're okay, but not great. And we're good at the tackle position, in my opinion. We just picked up Stanley's 5th-year option. I like Zeus. Yonder's still there. The question mark is center and left guard. Those are our question marks. Center and left guard. Center. Whoever we're gonna have to draft a lineman that's gonna be able to have to play both of those positions. Not saying he can play them at the same time for the people that's gonna think that, but we got to draft a guy that can play. He can play center or guard. Because if he can play guard, we can take Hurst and maybe put him back at center. Or if we draft a center, and we can make Hurst or whoever else takes that position primarily a guard and not go back and forth. But we're gonna have to get an interior guy, and maybe even two, to fill that void. All right, right above O-line. My notes keep closing on me. I have linebackers. Now, when I wrote linebackers down, I was thinking more so the middle guys. But now I remember I got to add the outside guys too because we're a 3-4 team. So our middle guys are okay, but they haven't had to shoulder the load by themselves. I love Peanut. I do. Peanut comes in with the getting the ball out and he can run, he can make plays, he can tackle. Kenny's a younger guy that can cover. That both of those guys cover better than that other guy that left and went to New York. We're not gonna mention his name, but both of those guys cover better than him. That guy that went to New York was just the field general, the leader, and he could get people lined up and he made big plays when he had to. But he did have a coverage deficiency, but he made up for it in tackling and just being smart and getting everybody else lined up. But I think we're going to be okay at linebacker, especially middle linebackers, because I love Peanut. Peanut runs around. He shows some leadership toward the end of the year. And, he can take that role as to get people lined up and doing the things they need to do. And Kenny can be just that wild guy to go get it. Now, as far as our edge guys, we have unproven guys out there also. We lost Judon. Not Judon. Did we lose Judon? We lost Suggs, definitely. Yeah, we lost Judon. We left Judon. So we got one guy left, and we got two unproven guys. We got Tim Williams and Bowser. Tim Williams and Bowser. Both of those guys are the outside linebackers that we got to depend on. We definitely got to depend on them. And I don't know if Smith. I appreciate it. We lost Smith. We kept Judon. I apologize. Appreciate it. That's why I love my chat box. Y'all come with it. When I mess up, y'all get me right back on track. I appreciate it. Trust me, I appreciate you. I love you guys. We kept Judon. We got rid of Zadarius. And I should know that because that's been my biggest video, the Zadarius Smith video. When the Packers picked him up, the Packers came through and showed love. That video jumped to like 20,000 views. But back to the lecture at hand. Judon's still there, but Bowser and Williams, to me, are unproven. I know we have some guys in the Ravens community that have faith in those guys. I just haven't seen enough film on them to say, hey, stick these guys in, they plug and play. But, we got to work with what we got. And we kind of teeter in that salary cap line. I don't know everybody's numbers, but we good on the cap right now, and it may set up for a good year for us next year. But hopefully those guys show up and do what people think they can do, and stay healthy. The key is staying healthy. All right. The next group I have is the D-line. I think our D-line is pretty solid. Now, next year may be decimated, but right now it's pretty solid. Those guys can move. They can two-gap some stuff. They can do things to stop the run. They're going to be good at helping our young linebackers out. Our interior linemen are going to have to take up blockers so Young and Peanut can run to go make tackles. They're going to have to. They're going to have to. And Earl going to kind of work his way down in the box too. But our D lineman has to take up blockers so our linebackers can run free. And I think they will do a good job of that. And that's why I have them higher on my list. Is not as much of a liability on our team. All right. But next to D line, I have quarterback. I have quarterback with the I guess the higher rating, so to speak, and it's simply because of Lamar and RG3. They're the same type of guys, so if something happens to one, we should be able to run the same style offense and keep continuing to do what we do. And that's why I have them so high. Not because Lamar is this great quarterback, which I think he will be great, but it's the fact that him and RG3 are the same type of quarterback, and we won't have to change systems when we bring the quarterback in. We can run the same pass plays, run some of the same run plays, and be effective. We won't have to go and be a whole different team because we got a new quarterback come in like this year. We were one team when Joe Flacco was in. We were a completely different team when they put Lamar in. Our O-line was set to run block. Joe was a passer. And so our O-line looked horrible when Joe was in because they weren't great at pass blocking. But when Lamar came in and we wanted to run the ball, the O-line shined. The O-line shined. I hope Lamar can stay healthy too. The O-line shined when Lamar got in there. And, credit the guys, the coaching staff for changing it and going with it and staying with it. Because, that's the real reason we got into the playoffs. And people complain, not complain, but just said our defense was so good. But our defense got better because the O-line and the running backs and Lamar controlled the clock. So our older defensive guys got a chance to sit, 8, 9, 10 minutes between series, and they were rested. They were rested. Weddle was rested when he came out. Suggs was rested when he came out. The rest of the defense, even though they were younger, were rested. So that's how they was able to play hard for 5, 6 plays and get out the field. Then the offense would come out there and keep the ball for 10, 15, 20 minutes. So that's a direct correlation of, us running the ball and our O-line being better at run blocking than pass blocking. And with our tackles, those massive tackles we got, just keep leaning on people. Just keep leaning on them. Keep leaning on them. Third and fourth quarter, they're gonna fold. They're gonna fold. We got massive tackles out there. All right, the next group I have above the quarterbacks is our tight ends. We got a great group of tight ends. That's why I'm not so worried about the receiver position, because we have a great group of tight ends, and we can, maybe line somebody outside to be in a receiver spot, or they can play like a slot too. We can have one at tight end. We can have like Williams or whatever at tight end. No, not Williams. Yeah, I think we can have Williams at tight end and then put Hurst in the slot, and then just need 2 receivers. We can still do stuff like that. However we want to do it, our tight end group is going to give us maximum flexibility. Maximum flexibility. All right, and the group I have above that as the best group on the Baltimore Ravens is, of course, the DBs. Of course. I think we got one of the better nickel cornerbacks at Tavon Young. We got Marlon, who has come into his own as a cornerback. We kept Jimmy so far, which is a good thing. We got picked up Earl in free agency. We got Carr that don't miss a lot of games. We got Everett. We got a couple of other strong safety type guys that can fill the void and got good quality reps last year. So our DB group they got to carry us. They got to carry us. Our DB group is where it's at right now. It's where it's at. I'm gonna come back to some questions just a second. I'm almost through with this group, this position ranking. Matter of fact, I am through with the position ranking. The DBs is the best group we have on the Baltimore Ravens. And for the next 10 or so minutes, I'll get in here and dive with these the questions in the chat box, and we can talk about draft picks and what we should do and who we should pick up and things like that. So let me scroll up to these questions real quick. Don't forget, I know Sonny and them has a live stream coming. I'm going to get off here and let them have their time so all of us can have our time with the fans. Oh, yeah. There's great value for inside linebacker in the middle rounds. Guys like Coney from Notre Dame and Jermaine Pratt from NC State will be solid. We definitely can, pick up. We definitely need an inside guy. Definitely need a third and or fourth inside guy. Hopefully, I'm sure it's a third inside linebacker on the team already. But picking up a young guy to get in the rotation, that wouldn't hurt at all. That wouldn't hurt at all. Quincy's the other receiver. You know what? I forgot Quincy was on the team. Honestly, I really did forget he was on the team just because I hadn't seen him. Was he buried on the practice squad with Lashley and Scott? So I forgot he was on the team. I hope Lashley and Scott can come through though. I really do. Where are we at? Would you be upset if we drafted a corner? Man, would I? That's a waste of a pick. Craven, that's a waste of a pick. Yeah, I'd be upset. You should be too. Do you think they might try to deal Jimmy? Only 1 year left on his contract. What I think is going to happen is we're going to play this season out. And if we start off good and have a chance, they're going to keep Jimmy and just let him, be a free agent when his time come up. And maybe get a supplemental pick when he leaves. But then if we start off bad or if he get hurt or if he's not playing well, they may try to let him go and get something for him. But I think if everything's going good, like we hope, I think they're just going to let him play his deal out and then go from there. And, just whatever we get in the supplemental draft for him signing somewhere else, so be it. Which, we did a good job of letting guys go and getting supplemental picks anyway. Chuck Clark was a name I forgot. And was that Elliott? I know Chuck Clark. Chuck Clark got some quality reps this year. He's going to be one of them safeties in the rotation. And hopefully Earl can stay healthy so we can be Earl and Avery and Clark and all those other guys. I want Earl to be in the game. Savage. A friend of mine, Vosh Lombardi, I don't know if you guys know him, called Savage the Little Missile. And I tend to agree with him. Savage will come down and lay wood to you. Savage will come down and he's a box safety. Now he can cover, when he have to, but he's more comfortable running the alleys, knocking people off. He's most comfortable running the alley, knocking people off. Kurt Caldwell asks, is Butler still your number one receiver going into the draft? All right. Now this question is twofold, Kurt. I personally love Butler because of the way he plays and who he reminds me of and his big play ability. Is he the best receiver in the draft? I'm kind of coming off of that. I think it's A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown is the most NFL-ready NFL-ready receiver. I think A.J. Brown can play inside or outside. So, if you pick him up, you can put him at either spot. We have inside guys already, so A.J. will have to play outside for us. But I want an outside guy that has a huge catch radius. I don't care. Well, I do care about the drops that Hakeem had in college. Because if he drops, let's say Hakeem drops 8 balls over the year. Random number 8. And he has 10 touchdowns for 800 yards. I'll take those 8 drops. I really will. The thing about drops is it's when you drop it. Those fourth quarter drops stand out more than those first quarter drops. So it's when you drop it. But it looks like he rises to the occasion when he needs to and go in. And it's just it's a focus thing for him. Because I watched some on Twitter some cut ups about his drops compared to other people's drops, and it's just focus with him. Now keep in mind when he gets to a team, hope it's the Ravens, it may not be. He won't have to deal with class. He won't have to deal with whatever Iowa State. He will be strictly football. So if his concentration on making millions of dollars and not really having to work a real job for the rest of your life doesn't translate into catching the balls, so be it. And nothing I can do about it. Sorry. But I think his drops won't be a big factor in NFL. But I personally love Butler, and if I was the Ravens at 22, Butler's my guy. But I'm not. Next question. Let's see where we at. Do you think the Ravens would draft the outside linebacker? I say this because it doesn't seem like they have faith in Bowser nor Williams. Nerone, I don't have faith in Bowser or Williams yet because I haven't seen enough tape on them. But, preseason and going into it, they're going to be the guys that get the opportunities. And if the coaches don't like what they see in OTAs and preseason camp, they're going to get them out of there because we're not trying to rebuild. We're still trying to win now. From the looks of it, we're still trying to win now. Because if we were rebuilding, we wouldn't have spent that money on Earl Thomas. We are still trying to win right now, and we got to have some kind of pass rush to help out that stellar defensive backfield we got. So I don't have faith in Bowser nor Williams, and I thought the Ravens were going to go after Houston, but they didn't, and that's up to the front office. But I really thought we were going to go after Houston, especially after our two edge guys left. We need to cut Justin Bethel. He's costing us a supplemental pick next year. Yeah, Bethel's rarely on the field, rarely at all. Savage is a savage. He like Troy, David Seals. It's maybe a surprising pick for the Ravens. Yeah, a later round guy. Seals is I think he's the kid from West Virginia that started off at quarterback and hurt his arm and ended up playing receiver for West Virginia. So I like Seals. Seals had 15 touchdowns this year and last year, and he's at 6'5". So I like Seals in the later round. So if he's there, we could use him because he has that catch radius. He's not extremely fast, but he's a smart football player. He used to play quarterback. He's a smart football player. Frankie B, do you like any running backs in this draft? I do. I really like obviously Josh Jacobs. I think is the best running back in the draft, and I like Darrell Henderson. I think Darrell Henderson is 2. I think Darrell Henderson is 4 on the list. I did a top 9 at 9 video on the running back, so you can check that out in your spare time. But in that video, I think I had Josh Jacobs at 1. I had the other running back for Alabama at 3, and I had Darrell Henderson at 4. But the guy that really intrigued me, I had at 2, and that's the running back from Texas A&M. I think it's Trey. What's Trey's last name? Is it Williams? I think it's Williams. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But the running back from Texas A&M really shocked me, and I really, 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 really like that guy. Gary Ramsey, can you see Jordan Lashley ever seeing the field as a number 2? Gary, I can. If he progresses, I can. I went back and watched some of Lashley's college film just to kind of see what kind of player he was. Probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he was an explosive guy. He did some good things at UCLA. But it's time for that to transfer to the league. If Lashley or Scott can play this year effectively, whoever we pick up in the draft is gonna make it better. Because if Lashley or Scott plays at any kind of high level, then we have Snead, then we have our tight ends, then we have Seth Roberts. Then whoever we pick up in the draft is going to be icing on the cake. It's going to be icing on the cake. So if Lashley can get on the field, or if Scott can get on the field, our receiving group will go from being probably the most talked about as being bad, but probably a better group of guys that can helpfully produce. Bowser seems like he's really good in coverage. I might have to check Bowser on that. And I see, and this live stream started to be a video about Bowser and Williams, but I couldn't get enough tape to, present you guys a real formulated opinion. Now I saw some highlights where they've had like tackles and whatnot, but I really got to sit down and watch when they're in the game to see if they can cover, if they can rush, or how well they do those things. So I just really hadn't had the time to sit down and watch straight film on Bowser or Williams. So that's why my evaluation of them is kind of far-fetched, because I've seen like their highlights, but I hadn't watched tape on them. So I don't want to talk about a group of guys and I haven't done my full homework on them. But I just know they need to step up and bring it this year. Burns or Farrell? Farrell. I think Clean or Clean, or however you say it, Farrell is a steal. If he's there at 22, even though we need a receiver, I'll take him. I'll take him over Burns. Now you said was it Chili Most 2? Sweat versus Snell? You meaning Josh Sweat and Benny Snell out of the running back? And so if that's who you mean, obviously I'll take Sweat because he's an edge guy. And Snell we can get in later rounds. There's some good running backs in this draft now. I did 9, but it's about 13 or 14 that I like. What up, Coach? From West, I appreciate you guys tuning in. People are really sleeping on Snell. Yeah, last year had a lot of drops in practice. And his drops in practice is probably the reason he was on the practice squad. Who do you think? Devin Bush or Devin White? LSU Devin. I think that's Devin White. I say LSU Devin because he used to be a running back, and he moves just that fast. He still moves like a running back. He's learned. He hadn't even reached his full potential at linebacker yet, and he's probably the best linebacker in this draft. And think about that. Bush has been playing linebacker. So Devin White has only been playing linebacker at what, the 2 or 3 years at LSU? My God, just imagine when he gets 2 or 3 years in the NFL, when he gets good coaching and being able to read all his keys and run downhill and blitz and do all these things that linebackers do. Imagine how good he's gonna be. Just think about it. This kid's only scraping the surface of what he can be at linebacker. And at LSU Devin, he has one thing that a lot of linebackers don't have. He can run. He can run his butt off. The other Devin can run too. Other Devin can run too. But this kid is super fast. John loves practice production. So if the wide receivers can't do anything in practice, they're not seeing. And it should be like that, Frankie. It should be like that. It should be like that. So you was taking Chili Most was thinking Montez. So yeah, I answered that. What do you think about the Ravens getting Miles Boykin? Miles, is that the kid from Notre Dame? Is that the kid from Notre Dame? The wrong is Miles Boykin, the kid from Notre Dame. If so, I think he's like a 6'3", 6'4" receiver, and he's red zone guy. Red zone guy. He didn't make my top 9 at 9 receivers.